Summer's officially here, and the bikini sale at shackshop.us is happening right now. Get hot styles, bold prints, and perfect fits, all on sale for a limited time. Whether you're beach-bound or poolside, we've got the bikini that makes you feel confident, cute, and totally summer-ready. So don't wait. Head to shackshop.us and shop the sale before it ends. That's shackshop.us, your new favorite bikini spot.
Capitol Circus. Democrats turn Epstein hearing into shouting match as Pam Bondi fights back. What was billed as serious congressional oversight quickly devolved into political theater Wednesday, as Democrats used a 5-hour House Judiciary Committee hearing on the Jeffrey Epstein files to stage what critics are calling a made-for-TV spectacle. At the center of the storm, Attorney General Pam Bondi, who refused to play along. From the opening gavel, Democratic lawmakers peppered Bondi with rapid-fire accusations over document redactions, investigative timelines, and alleged ties between Epstein and figures in President Donald Trump's orbit. But rather than deliver the viral soundbite some members seem to be chasing, Bondi pushed back, hard. "I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question," she snapped at Rep. Gerald Nadler after he demanded numbers on alleged Epstein co-conspirators. The temperature only rose from there. Democrats go for drama. Several exchanges spiraled into shouting matches as Democrats accused the Justice Department of mishandling redactions in the massive Epstein document release. Bondi acknowledged mistakes, including instances where identifying information tied to victims was not properly concealed, but she refused to accept the narrative that the department had acted recklessly. Instead, she pointed to the scale of the task, millions of pages reviewed in just 30 days. Republicans noted that processing decades-old investigative material under intense public pressure is not the same as flipping through a file folder. Yet Democrats repeatedly returned to the same line of attack, framing isolated errors as systemic collapse. At one dramatic moment, Rep. Pramila Jayapal asked Epstein survivors seated behind Bondi to stand if they had not personally met with the Justice Department. All 11 rose, creating a powerful visual and a political flashpoint. Jayapal demanded that Bondi turn around and apologize directly for what she described as harm caused by the department's redaction failures. Bondi declined. She had already expressed sympathy to survivors for the abuse they endured, but she made clear she would not accept sole responsibility for procedural errors in a process spanning multiple administrations. Republicans blasted the moment as emotional staging designed to corner the Attorney General on camera. Trump targeted again. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Democrats attempted to steer the hearing toward President Trump. Rep. Becca Balint pressed Bondi on whether Trump knew about reported associations between Epstein and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Bondi refused to speculate and forcefully defended the president. "There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime," she stated, adding that Trump signed legislation leading to the release of millions of Epstein-related documents. The line of questioning drew visible frustration from Republicans, who accused Democrats of recycling insinuations that have failed to produce criminal charges despite years of scrutiny. Even a slip of the tongue by Balint, mistakenly calling Bondi secretary, turned into a flashpoint, underscoring the combative atmosphere dominating the room. Massie presses from the right. It wasn't just Democrats applying pressure. Republican Rep. Thomas Massie raised concerns about a redaction involving billionaire Les Wexner, who has denied wrongdoing and has not been charged. Massie challenged Bondi over how Wexner's name was initially removed from a document referencing potential co-conspirators. Bondi responded that the redaction was corrected within 40 minutes once identified, noting it was one issue among more than 4,700 redactions. "Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed," Massie shot back. Bondi dismissed the accusation, emphasizing the department's overall low error rate given the volume of material. The exchange highlighted that skepticism about the Epstein case spans party lines, but it was Democrats who dominated the rhetorical fireworks. Another redaction misstep fuels fire. Adding fuel to the day's controversy, it emerged that an undercover FBI employee's face had not been properly obscured in a video released as part of the document dump. The Justice Department later requested media outlets blur the identity after the oversight was discovered. Democrats seized on the error as further proof of mismanagement. Republicans countered that the mistake was corrected once identified and did not undermine the broader transparency effort. The video in question showed Epstein's former Palm Beach estate manager attempting to sell Epstein's infamous Black Book to an undercover agent, a moment long cited as evidence of Epstein's extensive network of high-profile contacts. No indictments, no apologies. After 5 hours of clashes, accusations, and interruptions, the hearing ended without new indictments announced and without a timeline for additional prosecutions. Bondi left the committee room unapologetic for standing her ground. She defended the department's work, reiterated that investigations remain ongoing, and accused Democrats of attempting to politicize one of the most disturbing criminal cases in modern history. For Republicans, the takeaway was clear. Democrats appeared more focused on generating viral confrontation clips than advancing justice. For Democrats, Bondi's refusal to concede ground will likely become a rallying cry.
But for many Americans watching yet another Capitol Hill shouting match, the spectacle may have reinforced a different conclusion, that Washington remains deeply divided even when confronting the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein.